Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start explaining the basic concept of the transitional units that you'll be receiving next year, quarter one and quarter four, I'd like to go over this math cheat sheet with you very quickly. It's kind of like a condensed form of the Common Core and what's expected at your grade level. If you look in this area, here are your Common Core state standards. These are the acronyms that you'll be seeing and should become familiar with. Down the lower left-hand corner, we have the key instructional shifts. First one is focus, second is coherence, and the third is rigor. And I know you've heard a lot about rigor in your staff meetings, and we'll be focusing on that next year in our professional development as well. Lower right-hand corner, we have the required fluency. So let's say fourth grade. Fourth graders at the end of the year, Common Core expects these fourth graders to be able to add and subtract within a million and do it fluently. On the back, you'll notice that we have the focus area for your grade level, and we also have the arithmetical practices, and I'll be explaining those further in our explanation of the transitional units. So let's move on. In front of you now is a basic outline of the Common Core units, the transitional units that you'll be receiving next year. One in quarter one and one in quarter two, and you can notice here are those acronyms, abbreviations again. And as we move up the page or down the page, here we have the unit contents. These are the things that you'll be getting in the unit itself. You'll be getting an alignment, Westside alignment document that shows you what standards are aligned to our current textbooks. You'll be receiving the quarter one unit itself, the unpacked standards, and these are just explanations and examples of the standard and what it's really asking us to do. I think I sent a lot of those flip books out to you, so those are the unpacked standards. Critical areas of focus, you'll be receiving those, the mathematical practices and sentence starters again. Objectives, you're getting a performance task, and that's like a culminating activity that you'll be having your students do at the end of the unit. The resources in the performance tasks you'll be receiving are only examples. I did get these examples and lessons from many different district websites from several states: Georgia, North Carolina, New York, Oregon, Arizona, just to name a few. So these lessons and activities have been vetted, and many of the districts are using the exact same websites and exact same resource materials. So, but I know many of you have already really dug deep into the Common Core. You've taken a lot of your time and created wonderful lessons. So if you find that your lesson is probably a little bit deeper than mine and goes more in depth, feel free to use that. And down towards the bottom, here are the mathematical practices again. You'll be receiving those, and those are grade specific, and I also have sentence starters for you with that. So further ado, let's get into a unit. In front of you now are the standards that are aligned to your current curriculum in your textbook. Here's a sample 5th grade text alignment. The implementation team also helped me with verifying that this is where they're found in the textbooks. So over on the left we have the standards. In the middle is the description of each standard. It's just a very short snippet of what that standard means. If you want to look for further clarification, go into the flip books and find that standard, and those are the unpacked that will give you more information. And on the right, you'll notice that these are the chapters that the standard is found in. But if you see here, it says need more examples. There are some examples in the textbook, but you may want to go outside and look on the internet and use those sites that I give you to enhance your lesson. Next we have the mathematical practices. There's 8 of them in all, and they're the same for each grade level. So in kindergarten, you're going to, number 4 is going to be model with mathematics, 4th grade model with mathematics, and the same in junior high. As we scroll down, we have in front of you, you'll see that we have the practices here again, but there's more description, and think of these as the unpacked version of the mathematical practices. And what this is basically explaining more in depth of what that mathematical practice is asking you to do. And I've also included some sentence starters over here to help you through each of these practices. You just may want to think of these practices as overarching standards for the Common Core standards themselves. These practices make the standards more rigorous and promote the critical thinking that we really need to get back into the classroom. Here we have the unit itself. It consists of vocabulary, so you can add to that vocabulary if you'd like. I've also included in this area, you can link that and it will take you to like an online dictionary. Over in the left hand is the standard itself, the mathematical practices that go along with that standard. Now I know it looks like there's quite a few here, but many of them kind of overlap each other, so don't get overwhelmed with that. Here's the I can statement, your objective, and over on the right, this is the resource. This is the activity or the lesson, and when you get the electronic copy, all you'll do is just double click on that and it'll take you right to the activity and the lesson itself. I've put in a little arrow here to point out that here's the standard, and the 5 stands for 5th grade, in number and base 10 is the standard NBT, and 0.3 is the level of the standard. And the standard reads as to writing and comparing decimals to the thousands. But if you're a little bit confused of what that means, I've also included the unpacked standards right here. Here it is again, 5 point NBT 0.3, and these are what's in those flip books that I sent out for you. So please use those if you're confused of what the standard is actually asking you to do. I've also included in each unit many different sample problems and examples. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have enough examples of this one standard, don't worry, because I've included those in the unit as well. And you know what, if you're looking through them and you think, you know what, I really don't like that too much, Rowdy, is there something else that you can find for me? Please, we are here to help you. So just give us a call or email us and we'll get you what you need for your lesson. In front of you, you see here's a performance task, and this is basically what you would call a culminating activity at the end of each unit. It incorporates, it includes, and assesses the kids about all of the standards that were included in that unit. I found these performance tasks in several different districts in the United States. Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona pretty much went along with each other with their performance tasks, or a collection of performance tasks. So mind you that these are only examples, but they have been vetted with students, so Common Core does see these as valuable activities. I know I've given you a lot to think about, and you probably have more questions now than you did at the beginning of the presentation, but just remember, next year we're going to be offering professional development. Language arts will be at the district office, and math is going to be given out during the staff meetings throughout the year. Science, junior high science teachers, you have the next generation science standards, so that's already going to incorporate the math. So science teachers, you and the math teachers are going to really have to work together. And just remember, guys, that we are here for you, and if you need anything, if you can't find something for a specific standard, please don't hesitate to call, and I will research whatever I can to get you what you need. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and thanks for sitting and listening to me. Hopefully I wasn't too much of a bore, and I will talk to everyone later. Have a great afternoon.